What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. You become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. I am in shambles. I'm sad. Everything went wrong today. It was not good. Nikola Jokic, please triple-double and get me out of this hell that I'm living in. Ivica Zubats, hey, gold standard. Glad I got on that play. Glad I got everybody in the premium Discord on that for a unit. Salvaged. Levine sucked. Cleveland moneyline didn't hit. I'm sure there's something else I'm forgetting that was just pain and suffering. Here's the thing. I recorded a little bit later. It was a 9-game NBA slate. Had a lot of things to be looking at here for Wednesday. So I was like, you know what? I'll record a little bit later here with producer Alicia. Shout out producer Alicia, the best in the business. But I am saying flat out, can't be more wrong about certain things. And certain days, if you're doing this correctly, you're going to make you look stupid, because just because something's a good bet doesn't mean that it hits. It's not a guarantee, but we do have locks, and the locks just mean simply that it is my favorite bet on the board over a unit and a half that I'm usually putting on those. Sometimes 2 units like Zach LaVine today. Thanks, pal. 5 first half points. That was enjoyable. But either way, we are a forward-looking show. We're heading to Wednesday. I'm excited for that slate, just like I'm excited for you guys to check out DraftKings if you haven't already. You bet $5, you win $200 in bonus bets instantly. You sign up for that in the video description box below. Pretty self-explanatory. Takes you all of about 2 minutes. 2 minutes to be getting access to one of the best sports books. And I have a lot of lines that I took directly from DraftKings for this program. Think that they're probably some of the most advantageous, that's the word I'm looking for, advantageous lines that exist in the industry. So sign up for that below. Take advantage of it. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all. 9 games. How many times can I say that in one program? Let's get to the picks, shall we? I need help. What a beautiful way to start our day. We're going to turn it around here. Washington and Detroit in the Motor City. No, not in a real-life basketball way, as these two teams suck. But I've been quite keen on betting this Pistons team in the prop world all season long. From Bojan, Lord Bojan, as he is appropriately known, to Jaden Ivey, a pauper. Screw that guy. But just always, every time, his props were all sorts of good. They all stood out against the Mavs. He was fantastic through the first half, scored 14 points in just 21 minutes before, of course, he fouled out. Why wouldn't he play 9 to 13 fewer minutes than he normally does? Absolute misery. I'm feeling awful, burned by everything. Actually, it's been a really good last couple of weeks, but you know what? Sometimes you have bad days. Mama said there'd be days like this. My mama said, I need to see the water boy. That'd be great. But I'm awfully okay with firing up a couple of Ivy props here. I think we got to go back to the well, perhaps. But we are actually going to the Washington side for my favorite play in this game. Bradley Beal sits at 22.5 points. He averages 20 on the year, so might look efficient, yes? Sure, but he played 33 minutes. Well, actually, he averages 22, whatever, I said it wrong. But he played 33 minutes 2 games ago. It's an easy Detroit matchup. The game projects to be remotely competitive, something that surely was not the case his last time out when they put up he put up 21 in just 30 minutes. They spanked the Spurs. Everybody spanks the Spurs. I'm telling you, though, Beal is due for a 34 or greater minute outing sooner rather than later. I mean, he's played in 30 games this season, just 30 games. He's averaged 32.5. It's coming in a close one. I expect those minutes to start getting ramped up. He's had some injury-riddled spots, too, that have taken down that per-game minutes deal. A couple of hamstring injuries where he only played a couple, like, single-digit minutes. So that'll hurt your average. But context is everything. And the lack of context from time to time that books can adjust for is what we want to take advantage of. And that's what I see here with Beal's projection, because if you add that little slider, give him 2-3 more minutes than what the books are projecting, you are looking at the nuts. And considering this sits inside of standard juice at -105 at DraftKings.com right now, give me a like play to kick off the day. We are bouncing back, baby. The over of 22.5 points for Bradley Beal. Oh, goody. Here we go again. Magic in Philadelphia facing the Sixers for round 2. And hey, I was pretty on about Orlando competing with Philly. Holy Markelle Fultz and Paolo Banchero Day. 2 players I have been awfully high on to talk about. I've talked about them a lot here on this program. I think they'll find success as the season goes on here. Banchero is a rookie. Markelle Fultz, just a talented player who former number 1 pick of the Sixers. But he has a little revenge in his heart, even though it was a shoulder injury that really screwed him over. Now, All of that being said, it's not like the books don't get to react to new information either, or the fact that the Magic just straight up beat Philly in their building on Monday. But unlike Monday, Joel Embiid isn't the only starting center that is questionable to play in this one. Wendell Carter Jr. is also questionable, and yet this line comes from 10.5 where it was opening on Sunday night to 9.5 where it was around close, all the way down to 8.5 for round 2 of this game. Maybe that's the public moving the line, but I very highly doubt it. Now, if you assume Embiid is the more likely of the two centers to play, which I surely do, as Embiid keeps playing through this left foot soreness deal, whereas Carter just popped up on the injury report, then why drop the line? Why drop it a point? Just because Orlando competed and snuck out a win in Philly? Doesn't track to me. Feels like an overreaction. Doubt it was the public. I'll say that again. Although, I like the bet at 10.5. It closed at 9.5, so I certainly have no dog in the fight at 8.5. Just pointing this out, talking through the process of how books are starting to see what I'm seeing. This Magic team is going to compete in some games you really, really don't expect them to from time to time. Just something to keep in mind is betting massive favorites in the NBA over and over without some sort of pending injury news is not the winning formula. It just isn't. So what do I like here? Not much else. Not looking that great. Fat chance you get a Philly prop before official Embiid news comes in. And Orlando, they have a ton of dudes, even if Wendell Carter Jr. sits. Maybe I like a couple of overs. We'll take a look and revisit that in the morning. So let's pick our spots and avoid this one. Leading the under of 232, if anything here. But please, please do not bet that. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Under 232. Is Philly on fire still? I don't know. Probably not. Seriously, I do wonder, why do they burn down cities when you win stuff? I'm a Viking fan. It's not like I would know. I'm just curious. But anyway, we're going to Memphis. More my style, more my city. Portland visiting Memphis. 230 total. Two teams I want to watch play basketball. And I know the Grizz are at home and they're number one in defensive efficiency this year and yada, 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 and so on and so forth, etc., 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 etc. That's the King and I. Bet you didn't think I was going to quote the King and I on this program. But against traditional talented centers like Yusuf Nurkic, coming here from Portland, I could see the interior being a bit more gettable without Steven Adams. But is this one of those games where the Blazers seemingly just hate Nurkic again, go small, and go to Jeremy Grant to play alongside Jaren Jackson Jr. and Brandon Clark? Seems that way of late. I mean, I really don't know what to make of Nurk's limited minutes all season long. Maybe try to turn him into something at the deadline, something that fits better with Lillard and Simmons, but I think he fits well with Lillard and Simmons. It's an under-the-radar story as we approach the deadline, but what I'm getting at here is 5.5 seems like few too many for a Memphis team to be getting or to be laying in their event without the aforementioned Adams, in addition to Desmond Bane being questionable after missing the past 2 games. Oh, and how about this shit? Danny Green, yes, Danny Green, 100-year-old Danny Green is questionable in what would be his Grizzlies debut. He's played for everybody, it would seem like. That means nothing to me. Just wanted to point it out. His family must be proud. Anyways, I'm leaning the 5.5. Give me the 5.5 with Portland, although this one could very easily be talked into a like with the right data, the right context. Just think that there's better spots as it is right now. I have 3 locks. 3 locks on a 9-game slate. I don't know if I've ever had 3 locks on a single program, so a pass on this one for me. Plus, if Bane does play, I wouldn't want any part of this. 5.5, though. If Bane sits, like he has the last 2 games, go ahead and fire up plus 5.5. I probably will, too. I'm definitely not that happy all the time. I promise you, today is just one of those days. It's just, you feel a little broken, worn down by the world. You know, things are so good. You're riding a high. You're feeling all high and mighty. Oh, look who recommended Pascal Siakam and Golden State and hit everything on Monday. You know what happens? Reality check, Eric. And speaking of reality check, if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But in the event that you have not signed up for DraftKings Sportsbook yet, bet $5, win $200 in bonus bets. What? That's pretty great if you ask me. Place any $5 wager you want on any market. Fade any of my picks. I really don't care. I want you to get $200 is what I want. So bet $5. Get yourself $200 in bonus bets by doing nothing else other than signing up in the link below, clicking on it, going to DraftKings.com, setting up an account, and you'll be all set to go. Get that $200 in bonus bets. We got Super Bowl stuff coming up, college basketball going in full swing, everything you could possibly want. Don't miss out. Join DraftKings. Enjoy it. Thank you so much. Alrighty, y'all, back to the picks. Aw, well, doesn't this just give you the warm fuzzies? Kyrie Irving returning to his favorite city ever. Oh, he'll be on the court where he burned sage. Yes, he burned sage. Walked around, did this, get the bad juju out or some shit. I don't get him at all. But they face Boston, if you couldn't tell. And injury news all over the place. Simmons, Durant, out for Brooklyn. Marcus Smart, out for Boston. And a more subtle piece for my interests, Robert Williams, questionable. Very good defender. Now, there are props out, and Al Horford is a tough one to love at this point in his career. But if Williams plays, I would short the shit out of 17.5 points plus rebounds plus assists for Al Horford. Just throwing that out there from the get-go. But the lock play here, and yes, without even thinking about it, I have a lock play because I have it projected way under this number. Jaylen Brown, under 36.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. And I get it. He's a sensational basketball player. He just put up 37 real points. Didn't even need the rebounds or assists last game. Every prop, though, for every single game parlay ever, gets you in your little brain to think that overs that are crazy juiced are the right way to go about every single bet, when that just isn't the case, because then when somebody gets hurt, all hell breaks loose. You have Twitter blow up. Trust me, I get it. But Brooklyn is 20th in pace this season. They're 9th in defensive rating, albeit this will be without Simmons. But my major concern here, Malcolm Brogdon plays a ton of minutes now. 39 last game, 34, 35, 36 his previous 3 before that. This is a player that, going back to his Indiana days and then off the bench here and now starting, he has really put together well-rounded stat lines. And sure, no Smart, that's just a one-for-one swap, right? Not necessarily, as Brogdon carries more usage, more rebounding. Only thing he doesn't do is create more assist opportunities than Marcus Smart. So I get it. This could make me look really, really stupid, but I don't care. I'm here to make you money. That is the goal. And that's generally why people like to bet overs. It feels like, oh, well, they didn't play that well. And then if they play well, I was on it. I get it. Trust me. But I haven't projected for around 33 points plus rebounds plus assists. 3.5 is an awfully large gap when you're talking about the entire stat portfolio. And did he just put up 37 real points last game? I said that already, so I thought I would say it again. But don't expect a repeat performance there. Also, this Nets team more equipped to handle this. I'm telling you, Jaylen Brown, under 36.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. I am locking it. One of 3 locks on the board for me today. We go from shorting a player averaging more than his PRA last game to taking an over on a player that is far fewer than he averages. Welcome to today. It's the Thunder against the Rockets. And ask anyone before the season started what they thought of this game, and they might call it, maybe a famous Ben Folds song. Any Ben Folds song fans out there? Ben Folds 5, Ben Folds Live, great album. The battle of who could care less. That's what I would have expected from OKC and Houston. Victor Wembanyama, anybody? A generational talent coming down the pipeline. You know what, Sam Presti? You're probably not getting him. The masterful GM for the OKC Thunder, who stockpiled 48,000 first-round draft picks, give or take a few. Just telling you, OKC really starting to put it together of late. I like what they've started to show us, and shout out them. They're pretty close to that 500 mark, 24 and 26 at the moment. They keep finding their way there, closer and closer. They're 5.5-point favorites going to Houston here, but I want to talk about Josh Giddey because this individual is starting to learn how to shoot a basketball. And if that is truly going to be the case, we need to start taking some overs on 17.5 in advantageous spots. He's only played 29, 28, 30, 31, 30. They have started to try to limit some of his minutes because they can't just keep winning basketball games, right? Well, too bad. A lot of this has been just strange situations where SGA gets going nuts or he gets in foul trouble. Well, actually, he's avoided foul trouble for the most part, other than that foul out against Indiana. That's the one I'm specifically thinking of. That was about 5-6 games ago. But Josh Giddey, in an up-tempo spot against a Houston defense, 231.5 total. I expect him to start playing more than 30 minutes again here very, very shortly. And I know they've tried their best to lose basketball games, but try all you want against Houston. They got very little going on the other side. Kevin Porter Jr. out, Jalen Green out. They're going to be starting probably Dejoun Nix again. A lot of ridiculous dudes in that backcourt. If my guy, Josh Giddey, is ever going to go for a 30 bomb, this would be kind of the spot. Now, I don't want you betting the alternate 30 plus. That is not me writing off on that. 25 plus, we can maybe have a conversation. But for damn sure, I am locking in Josh Giddey, somebody I project for 20.5 points. He has just a 17.5 point line. That is another gigantic difference. I don't know what's going on. Maybe my data is all kind of screwed up. I feel like it after today. Hey, Zubats hit, yay. And also Jokic is on pace for a triple-double. That would be awesome. Oh boy, do I need it for today. But fingers crossed on that. Let's just lock second straight thing. Should we make it 3? I think we're going to make it 3. Go to the next game, producer Alicia. Yes, friends, we have the Golden State Warriors, the hero of the people who just faced that OKC team. Both locks smashed on Monday. Tuesday's not looking so good. Jokic still, fingers crossed. We're going back to that one again. But Golden State facing my team, the Minnesota Timberwolves, at the Target Center. 2.5 point favorites. What? 2.5 is the opening line for Golden State, Minnesota. What am I missing here? Did I wake up on... Is this an alternate universe? What is going on with these Golden State lines? Why does Vegas or the books or whomever you want to call them, it's more just the books at this point in time because we're not all in Vegas. What is going on? Why is this just 2.5 against the Minnesota Timberwolves? I get it. Rudy Gobert questionable for the 50 millionth game in a row. He's probably going to play like he normally does. It sounds like Karl Anthony Towns. We got the great news today. He is nowhere near returning. But Gobert played 40 minutes last game. He's now played the last 4 or 5 games in a row here. Thank God we haven't had to deal with Nas Reed slates in the DFS world. But what I'm getting at is the same thing. I'm going to just rehash everything that I said about Golden State two slates ago. If you told me that the Golden State Warriors were playing the Minnesota Timberwolves without Karl Anthony Towns a month from now, what would you set this line at? Go ahead. Just let me know in the comment section below what you would put this line at, because my model has this at 5.5. 5.5. I don't even know what to say. There's always the chance that Rudy Gobert sits, which sometimes I wonder when I watch basketball if that's actually a good thing or not, because you guys know by now, there's certain stretch fives that can be a problem for him. But going up against this Golden State team, Curry healthy, Klay Thompson healthy, Jordan Poole starting. The death lineup now, this iteration with Draymond Green at the 5. I am so confused by this line. It should do exactly what it did last week. It was 2 days ago on Monday. It's going to do the exact same thing where it opened at -3 and it popped up to -5 instantly, overnight. You need to run. You need to bet Golden State -2.5, not today even. You need to bet that yesterday is what I'm getting at. Get to the window, -2.5 Golden State, my favorite bet, not even remotely close. And this is the reigning NBA champions facing a Minnesota Timberwolves team I don't even know makes the play-in game at this point in time. I know we have played way above our heads of late, but it doesn't matter. 27-26, the West, there's a lot of teams chomping at the bottom there. Golden State's not going to be one of them for long. They're healthy. Andrew Wiggins, I bet he's upset going back to Minnesota. Just saying, even though we paid him a lot of money and he's a disappointment and broke my heart. But that's enough. I just can't process this one. Golden State, probably going to lose out right now, but I do not care. The best bet on the board by far, Golden State -2.5. Whew. Gotta slow my roll a little bit. We're talking just a little bit. All I need, baby girl, is a little bit. You can head to the crib in a little bit. I can show you how I live in a little bit here with Sacramento and San Antonio. And, Charles Barkley, what he says about San Antonio and ladies. Whatever. We're going to just break down the analysis of this game. San Antonio's terrible. They're horrible. They're no good. They're very bad. Sacramento has been really fun and very, very good to us. Oh, and Domantas Sabonis got ejected from a game against Minnesota. Didn't know that he didn't get ejected, and he came back and then fouled out and then went back. It was hilarious to watch, I will say. Awfully nice to not be on Domantas Sabonis triple-double in that situation. But we're going back to the well on our guy. I've just got done with 3 locks. I feel like I'm getting a little bit bet happy, but there are a lot of really, really good plays later on the board here. And this is just another one of them. Now, this is not the Golden State territory where my jaw hit the floor and it was... But Sacramento, Domantas Sabonis is going to triple-double against them, barring injury. So I'm just telling you ahead of time, you want to go to the old player combo section on DraftKings Sportsbook. You want to scroll on down, my friends, and find yourself in that Sacramento little portion, and you want to be betting on Domantas Sabonis. Assist rate is going to spike back up. You don't want to be playing a guy like Domantas Sabonis, a back-down center, against somebody like Rudy Gobert. Jakob Poeltl is not Rudy Gobert. So I'm just throwing it out there. He's not even going to be a Spur in a month. Just throwing it out there. So you want a freebie? Here's another like button that I would have locked if I didn't already have 3 of them on the board here. But we're going back to the bell, what in the world? I also like the over of his 39.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. I just want to throw that in there just for good measure as well. But I've been kind of combining the two of them. That's what I did with Jokic today in the premium Discord. You can sign up for that below. But Domantas Sabonis triple-double as well as points plus rebounds plus assists, like them both. See, this brings back good memories. We've got the Toronto Raptors facing the Utah Jazz. And I always say this on this program. I do not like to give you guys plays of things that don't have lines out yet. Now, Precious Achiuwa had a line that was out. It disappeared, showed back up. I sent out an alert immediately on the premium Discord and everybody in the comment section. Precious Achiuwa plus 190 smash button. I don't know if he's going to be plus money even this time around, but I don't care. If it's plus money, you just fire it because it should be minus 110. This is a Utah team that has been notoriously bad at rebounding the basketball all season long. They've shifted Walker Kessler into this starting role in order to try to stop some of the bleeding there. Even though Jared Vanderbilt can be a good rebounder, he just gives up a lot on the other side too, and that's problematic when you're playing a game that, I don't know, is predicated on hustle, making sure you get the ball in the basket, stuff like that. What analysis by me? I don't even know what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is we're going back to my Precious. Oh, he is just going to be a double-double machine. We just got Domantas Sabonis, followed by Precious Achiuwa, triple-double to the double-double? I don't know. Now I'm hungry. I just want a double-double with cheese. In-N-Out fans, best burger, best fast food burger. Not even remotely close. Don't even come at me. But what I'm getting at is that Precious Achiuwa is playing 36 minutes a night without OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby is going to be out for another 4 games. We want to take advantage of this all that we can. I don't even know what the line is because it's not even out yet, but know that it's going to have a plus sign attached to it. And against the Utah Jazz, that is a good thing. Precious Achiuwa double-double. Take it to the bank. Like it. And we go out with an absolute whimper. The Atlanta Hawks going up against the Suns. The Suns, the usual suspects who are always out. Devin Booker, they really want him bad back, or back bad, something like that. But the Atlanta Hawks on the other side here, Trae Young questionable, has been that way for quite some time. There is going to be news that I can't necessarily account for on this program, and that is a pretty massive one. I don't know. Did anybody else watch DeJounte Murray the other night without Trae Young? Because I sure did. 48-7. That seems good. That seems like something you would want to be invested in the over of. So if you can do that, do that. If you know Trae Young's going to be out, just take his overs, but I don't know that yet. And there's no props to really account for. I know a lot of you were on Chris Paul props the other night. I'm sorry about the heartbreak there. 9.5 for an assist prop. I did not take that. Don't want to really tango with that one. Everything looks really efficient to me here at the moment. Trae Young news doesn't really shift the spread for me a whole lot. I know that sounds crazy. He is such a defensive liability that it is what it is. I would probably like the total. I'd probably like going to a little bit more on that, but I'm going to go the Atlanta money line lean in the event that Trae Young does play. Maybe half a point, whatever. My key is that DeJounte Murray and Trae Young together, pretty difficult for the Suns to account for. Mikal Bridges was absolutely out of his mind the other night. Still did not matter. Didn't have any props of his or anything of that nature. But yeah, they ended up beating Toronto in that spot. Good for them. Mikal Bridges will not go infinity for infinity from the field. Again, 12 for 19, 3 for 4 for 3. That is what you call an outlier. Atlanta money line fired up, but I'm leaning it for now. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Head to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on the board. Oh my gosh, I had so many plays on the board. I was a little bit taken aback by this card. I'm going to have it trimmed down nice and concise for you in the premium Discord. If you want to be a part of that, sign up in the video description box below. There's a lovely link. First week, 50% off signing up for that. Check it out. We also have NBA Bet Pro. incredible tool. It's been printing money in a lot of ways. Check it out. We have it back tested. It's proven. It's proven to be able to win you money. So if you were interested in that, take a look at that. And then BetMGM, I think they just rounded out a bunch of promotions that we had with them. But the DraftKings one's still live. Bet $5, win $200 in bonus bets. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all. Hoping to bounce back in a big way on Wednesday on a much larger slate with a lot more money in play. Looking forward to it. Hope you are too. Until Thursday, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Wednesday.